What if gratitude isn't just saying thank you? What if gratitude is actually the secret to falling back in love with your homeschool again? That's what today's episode is all about. Something else to consider is gratitude isn't just a polite list of like blessings. It is, but it's not. What if also it's the key to rediscovering the wonder in the middle of all the noise that's going on in our house, all the noise that's going on in the homeschool world with, oh, look at this curriculum, look at that curriculum, see what this influencer on social media is doing and thinks that you ought to be doing in your homeschool, right? There's all this noise. How can we use gratitude to pull us out of the overwhelm and help us fall back in love with homeschooling again and fall back in love with our homeschool again? Like, not just homeschooling in general, though I think that's important, and I think these things are different, but also our homeschool. Because I think sometimes we can be in love with homeschooling without necessarily being in love with our homeschool, and I think it's important to be in love with both of those things. But what made me start to think about this, Barbara Cousins, I did an interview with her recently on the Homeschool Better Together podcast, and we were talking about the beach retreat. She had come to the beach retreat in 2023, and she told me, like, what she took home with her was not like a whole list of ideas, but instead it was more of a sense of peace. She told me, like, the beach retreat poured into her soul and she didn't feel alone anymore. So, what Barbara realized from the beach retreat is that gratitude doesn't just come from counting your blessings, it actually comes like from being with people who remind you of what your blessings are, right? That's where gratitude comes from. So if you're sharing laughter, if you're watching sunsets together, just sitting quietly by the ocean, all of that kind of turns into worship when your heart is full and you can slow down long enough to notice like all the wonderful things that are around you. And I think that's what I want for all of us, right? Even if you never make it to the beach, gratitude can be a pause that brings the joy back, and not just the joy of homeschooling in general, the joy of your homeschooling. So, what are some ways that gratitude can help restore wonder in your life, in your homeschool? The way it does it is number one, gratitude slows your pace. You can't appreciate beauty if you're running at full speed, and the homeschool rush is real. I totally get it. You're constantly making curriculum choices, decisions every day, prepping for co-op, making lunch and breakfast and dinner. Somebody is always needing a snack, right? But taking time out for gratitude, it forces you to pause just a little bit and to notice that this work, this chaos, this sacred chaos is actually good. Gratitude also reframes your homeschool. It's really easy to focus on what's missing in our homeschool, what's not going right. But instead of asking what's wrong, when you start paying attention to what's right, what's working, and that could be like shared laughter, this really great read aloud that you're doing, or the kid who finally like has the light bulb moment and gets it, then it turns this ordinary thing that's happening in your day into a miracle that you get to witness. Because it really does feel like a miracle when they start like having that light bulb moment when it comes to fractions, right? So gratitude can reframe your homeschool. So it slows your pace. It can reframe the things that are going on because you're not just asking what's missing or what's wrong. You're asking what's right here, right now, what's working. And then it can reconnect your heart to your people. When Barbara told me that she didn't feel alone at the beach retreat, that is the power of gratitude in community. When you share what you're thankful for with another mom, like even here in our community, it multiplies. It becomes like a lifeline. It's a reminder that we're all figuring it out together. So I'd like for you to try something with me just for a few minutes. I want to pause and I want to invite you to think. You can put it in the comments if you feel comfortable doing that. Feel free to put it in the comments down below. But I want you to think for just a minute. What is one part of homeschooling that you love right now, or maybe you used to love, that you could thank God for today? Maybe it was the way your kids used to snuggle close for a read aloud. Maybe it was how, like, you get questions about everything. Because I know sometimes questions can be frustrating. You feel like they're interruptions, but that actually means that they're engaged and they're learning. Maybe it's just remembering that the messy life that we live was once our dream come true. We wanted to have kids. We wanted to homeschool them. That was what we wanted, and we got exactly what we wanted. So take for just a few minutes. What is something that you either love right now or you have loved about your homeschool in the past that you could thank God for today? I see that with my kids a lot. They're very connected to each other. They enjoy doing things with each other. All of my kids have worked together at the same job, in the same food truck. And I remember when my first two started working together, the owner of the food truck called me up and she's, "Hey, am I going to be able to schedule them for the same shift?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're totally going to be able to schedule them for the same shift. It is not a problem. They'll have no problem working together." And the world thinks, "Oh, these 2 teens from the same family, they're gonna fight. They're not gonna get along." But because we spent so much time together and homeschooled, they actually can. And now the youngest one is working with his older brother in the food truck, and they work shifts together all the time, and it works out great. If you are watching the replay of this, just think about it. Take just a few minutes and think about those things that we could be thankful for. Our We Gather Together retreat is going to be in January. It's going to be in January at Destin, Florida. We have a big house down there. The team is going to be there. We are going to be feeding you. We are going to be doing your dishes. We don't do your laundry, just to throw that out there. We're not going to do your laundry, but the only laundry you have to worry about is yours. And if it absolutely needs to be done, we will give you a Tide Pod. You do it and let you do it yourself. But this is what we do there. We take a few quiet days to just remember what's good, to breathe, and to let wonder and gratitude come together again. This is a space where you can slow down, where you can laugh with women who get it, and you come home lighter, literally. Not literally, because we feed you well, but spiritually, you come home lighter, right? Not because everything has changed in your school. I can't fix all of that for you while you're at the beach retreat. The problems that you had before you left for the beach retreat, you're still going to have when you come back, but you're the one who's going to have changed. You're going to be filled up and ready to face all of this again for the rest of the year. And listen, even if you can't come, what I really want you to do is think about carving out your own little mini retreat. Maybe light a candle, take a slow walk, write down some of those things that you're thankful for the life that you're living right now, the one that God trusted you with, right? So even if you can't come to our retreat, think about maybe carving out a little mini one for yourself. But if you can come to ours, we would love to have you join us in January. If you have questions, if you're concerned about something, if you're worried, like, how does this work or how does that work? You can email Dawn at info@pambarnhill.com. But if you feel like you need to talk to someone, then just ask and we can set it up and I can jump on a Zoom with you and just make you feel really comfortable and answer any of the questions that you have. I know people sometimes feel uncomfortable about traveling by themselves. What do I do if my plane is really late and I don't get in and, like, now I have to get an Uber or something like that? The answer is we come and get you. If you get there in the daytime, right, just grab an Uber over. We also set up a spreadsheet so you can ride share with somebody if you don't feel comfortable taking an Uber. We are only 30 minutes from the airport now. It used to be a lot longer than that. But if something happens that you're not getting in till 11 o'clock at night, we do not let you get in the car with a stranger at 11 o'clock at night. We come and get you at the airport. So we do take care of you. We really do. If you're worried about sharing a room with somebody, if you're worried about food sensitivities or something like that, just reach out and I can jump on a call with you and talk to you about any of those things. Okay. So totally can do that. And Dawn can help you set that up. If you talk to Dawn and say, hey, I'd really love to chat with Pam, we'll send you a scheduling link and you and I can jump on a Zoom call for 10 or 15 minutes just to answer any questions that you might have. So take a few minutes today, light a candle, grab your journal, and remember what you love about your homeschool. And if you're craving that deeper pause, come and join us in January for the We Gather Together Beach Retreat. Doors close November 30th, and I would love to see you there.